I feel like we need like the Jeopardy theme or something when we kick off
We
to give it
had
a.
a theme.
I know I gotta get that. I gotta get that freaking thing set up.
One of these days, instead of going on everyone else's shows, you'll be more in gear to pay attention to ours. Our ratings are growing, our numbers and popularity are just popping off the seams right now. Our opinions matter. I told you a long time. When we speak, everyone's going to start listening.
There you go. We're gonna have to get shirts made.
Whatever you want to do. Listen, I'm not. You know me, man. I give it away free. I'm a
Yeah, I
hooker.
know. Yeah.
I can make that happen. So just
Oh
yeah.
shit.
But
All right.
Gianni, just remember what I just said. I give it away free. I'm a hooker. I'm not looking to listen, man. The moment you start making money off of something that's that's begging for a handout, the moment you start killing our muse. Our popularity is going to grow because what we're saying is based on truth,
Hmm.
inside, behind the scene, and we're not like the others, man. We're not being paid to shut up.
Although I'd like to hear the price.
Yes, yes,
Listen,
indeed.
listen, Chubby. I won't sell. I say I give it away cheap, but quite seriously, they couldn't pay me enough to shut up, and I'm dead serious, bro. I got so many insults for so many of these ass clowns. I'll just keep it coming, bro. I could tear these dudes apart from the time they wake up till the time they go to sleep.
Well, tonight we're going to be talking about the ladies, so no dudes will be teared apart. Maybe a few of the ladies for sure, but overall, I thought it was a way, way better show than last night. I was pleasantly surprised. Some matches were, in my opinion, just fucking off the hook. Some were kind of blah. I don't know why we had a battle royal, but whatever. Um, but before we get into it, let me introduce my partners in crime. The man who's making it a threesome, the one and only Gianni the Belt Dude is in the house again tonight.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to be here. Awesome show. Can't wait to talk about it.
A
Welcome,
very,
Gianni.
very subdued Gianni tonight. And I want to say, huge improvement on the internet. No flubs last night. And also, no air conditioning sound going tonight. So you're good
I
to go. We don't have to boot
I'm
you.
I made sure I turned it off before I came on here. So,
So now we're going to watch him sweat.
oh my God, yeah.
And the man who will be breaking his balls for the next hour as we break down the show. We're going to be breaking Raw, breaking Gianni's balls, and breaking down Evolution. The one and only
Only an
Mr.
hour?
Johnny
Come on.
Hotbody.
Hello,
Only an hour.
hello. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the show. What a show it was. It's an insult that everybody thought that this was going to be a lackluster show. It's an insult to the women, that is. As far as the men go, they should give up wrestling. This card compared to last night, it's a landslide. The votes
Yeah,
are in. And
yeah.
if you look at the views and the matches that we got to see tonight, without commercials, nonetheless, I've only counted 5 commercials, and I'm going to keep the ticker counting on the commercials. I can't wait for tomorrow night to give you
108 last night,
the
5
hundred.
tonight.
Yeah, yep, 5. And listen, product placement was all over the place. Massendale douche was all over in every corner. And if he's noticed, the new tables, they're
Slim
made
Jim.
by tampon. No, they were all
Oh,
there
were
was
they?
tampon. Oh yeah, it looked like a whole bunch of tampons. Yo, come on, dude. They didn't have a table made of tampons. It was acrylic. Oh my God, Chubby, you're too
Oh,
easy
here we
tonight.
go. Here we go. Here we go.
We should
Well,
call
let's
we should call Johnny Hotbody Coach Hotbody because he's got a pitch count for how many commercials they're going to be.
Hello, Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Hello,
Hey,
Michelle.
Michelle.
she says
Michelle, aren't you happy to see that the women rocked the house tonight?
they did.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
look,
Oh
she
my
these
even
God.
said it. The
the
women definitely
men
rocked it tonight.
the men definitely tuck their balls. Like I said, they shave their chest, they rub oil on each other in the locker room, and they're all pumping each other's egos. Besides that, they're pumping Paulie's ass. This was the best show that the WWE has put out in the last 3 or 4 pay-per-views, and that's my opinion. Not
Yeah.
pay-per-views, PLEs. And
Yeah.
it takes matches with the gorgeous Rhea Ripley and with the greatest women's wrestler, who I've called it about 9 shows back, maybe 10 shows back. When Johnny Hotbody speaks, everyone should listen. I said this, Stephanie Valkyrie. What a talent! What a
Yeah.
talent! What a
Yep.
talent! And let's not forget this Sol Ruka. Oh my
Oh, future
God!
star. Future. That's all I kept saying last night and tonight.
Listen, this girl is Penthouse. This girl is Playboy. This girl is Johnny Hotbody's new favorite girl, and it has nothing to do with wrestling.
I love how
from
they
a
did.
wrestling standpoint, she's going to be, yeah.
Absolutely great.
Dude.
Absolutely great.
Mhm.
But let's get into this, brother. Let's
All
get
right,
into
all
this.
right. Well, the show kicked off with Joe Tessitore coming out, and he did the opening monologue, which it was killing me because the whole time you can see he kept like looking down and reading off his cue cards off his desk, and it was driving me nuts. But he brought out his co-host for the night, the one and only Miss Stephanie McMahon Helmsley.
Not impressed with Stephanie being at the show. She's not a. I'm not a fan of Stephanie at all. Never liked her. Never will. I don't know what it is. She's always rubbed me the wrong way. As far as this Joe Testa, whatever his last name is, he adds a lot. I'm telling you, he's very good as far as the cue cards go, and him looking down. Maybe they should use a teleprompter. That's not Joe's fault. They shouldn't have been so cheap. Usually, when the other ones are speaking, they have teleprompters or they wear an earpiece in their ear.
Good point. Good point. Well, they kicked it off as they always do with a hot opening match, and we were hit with going into the show. I thought was going to be well. I said today earlier that it was the one match that really basically had the true build up and storyline to it for the most part. That was pretty consistent over the last month, and also too. I thought it was going to be the match of the night. And I got to say, they kicked it off with a hell of a fucking show, a hell of a match. But I'm also going to say, that match to me, as much as I enjoyed it, as great as I thought it was a total, as I like to call it, a Jim Kettner match because it was completely scripted out from start to finish.
Yes, totally predictable. I agree with you, Bay. I agree with you.
To do a match like that, you really, I almost feel like you have to when you have those 3-way dances. It's to make it work like that, to have that magic like they have. I feel like you have to script so much of it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think, Johnny?
Quite seriously, the first match I didn't pay too much attention to because it's the first match. Why bother?
Really?
Yeah, quite truthfully, I I didn't expect. Oh God, like you said, what could you look forward to?
Oh, I look forward to a lot in that match, and now I look forward to Gianni leaving. No,
What about that? What about that match kept your attention really in check?
I mean, honestly, it was nonstop, fast paced, a lot of false finishes, a lot of 2 counts. It was a great high, fast paced match
Okay, all right.
that I was blown up watching it.
You blow up just getting the lid off of a bottle of Chianti there, my friend. Yeah. All right, Gianni, you always like to speak about these things. Give us an opinion of this match. What kept your interest? What did you expect and what didn't you expect?
Honestly, everything that happened in the match was expected, and as far as what, excuse me, I step off for a minute. What match are we talking about? I apologize.
First match, the three-way Bailey, Lyra Valkyria, and Becky Lynch.
Oh, I seen Becky winning hands down.
Yeah.
You see,
Hands down.
and then you ask me what I think about a match that no disrespect, Gianni.
Mm-hmm.
Gianni's not in the business per se. He's just a fan. And as a fan, you have his formulated opinion that it was a foregone conclusion that Becky would win. You know my opinion of Bailey. I cannot watch her. I think of vomit every time I see her. She is something about her just reminds me of a stink fest. I don't know what it is about her.
I love
her. Yeah, me too. Me too.
And this Valkyrie, she's stiff. She's very stiff.
She annoys me.
She doesn't have the gracefulness to keep me interested. She's as stiff as the wings that she wears on her back when she goes to the ring. And I mean, like, yeah, what is this? The cosplay is off the chart with some of these girls, and it's a disgrace. I mean, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace when you have talent like a Stephanie Valkyrie.
So
and you had the matches that we're going to be talking about. Come on, the Bailey's mailing it in. I think she's been mailing it in.
Nah, I thought tonight was the best match she's had in a long time.
Was it because Becky Lynch carried the match? Because to me, Becky Lynch carried the match. She's the workhorse. She's the workhorse in that match. She's the champion. She's the one that's got to shine. And it was her workhorse ability that kept the other two's lackluster, to my opinion, performance. You know what you're going to get from Bailey. You see the stiffness in this girl. She telegraphs everything. Stevie Wonder could see what her next move is, and that's quite seriously. To me, the match was good. Was it a 4-star match? Was it a 5-star match? No, it wasn't. It was a great opening match. 20 minutes is what these opening matches are generally scripted to be, because we all know under the nose that he's telling everybody it's scripted anyway. So, the first 20 minutes is the people getting in the seats. It's called the curtain jerker position for a reason.
So let me break down everyone in the match real quick. Bailey was the best one in the match. Stephanie doesn't have it yet, in my opinion. And ever since Becky came back, she hasn't had it. There's something missing, and she's way too skinny in my opinion. She looks anorexic.
Well, it's a good thing it's not a popularity contest on what you think is appealing and what's not appealing. Because for me, I think Becky is a very hot girl. She's very doable in the Johnny HotBody's doable book, and that's just Johnny HotBody speaking. Seth is a very lucky man to have her in his bed every night. And, for a guy like Finn Balor to choose a man over her, come on, man, what's wrong with Finn? But that's another story for another time.
Yeah, I don't know that story. I agree pretty much with what Gianni said. I do feel, I first of all, and I've said this many times, I'm not a big Becky Lynch fan. I felt I felt both her and Bailey pretty much carried the match tonight mostly. And I thought, out of what were we doing last night? Were we doing 5 stars? I mean, I think it was
everything is based upon a 5-star.
Okay, I'll give it 4 out of 5. I'll give it a definite 4 out of 5.
I hate to say this, but one thing that creep Dave Meltzer had right was these matches are only worth a 5-star rating.
Mm-hmm.
And no halfies.
No half.
No, I agree with you, Bay, on the star rating of this match. Definitely.
What did he say? What rating
I
did he give
I
it?
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I gave it 2. Okay, so for the scores for the scorecard so far, you guys give this a very high score. I give it a 2. And you see, this is what the problem's going to be with you two. The ridiculous in your scoring. When we talk about the matches that are in the near future that we're going to be speaking about, those matches are 4 and 5 star matches. And to compare those. Listen, man, nothing against you, Becky. I love you, man. But when you're working with a stinkfest in Bailey, and when you're working with a girl that's stiffer than a corpse, uh, it was like you carried the match to me, and I gave you a 2 star. I would have gave you more if you would have had better talent in the ring to work with. That's my opinion.
Man, how do you really feel, Johnny? Jeez.
Listen, I always tell it how it is, my brother. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
and so should you. You have an opinion. You're on. We invite you on this show. Do you think we invite you to hear you shake your head? You constantly
No,
shake your head. Okay,
I
I
Chubby.
told you
shake
how I
my
feel
head.
about.
I
I
shake
told you
my
how
head
I.
all the time when you talk. I feel like I feel like a bobblehead when Johnny talks.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Well,
mm-hmm.
Gianni, what did you rate it?
Same as you. 4.5. Four
Four,
and a
four.
half. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
he's
right.
he's going on the half skis.
Yeah,
What
Four,
is
yeah.
it with you?
Oh,
What is it with
I
you? Is that a participation award?
I said
Listen.
4. I said 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
four. Okay, four. Then I apologize.
Okay. There
Four.
you go. All right. And I'm sure the rest of the people watching will chime in. And just
Mm-hmm.
remember, you're giving that a 4 when the match between Ito Sky and Rhea Ripley is a 5 star match. Are you guys joking? But let's get into this.
Well, we didn't get that far yet, so don't
No,
jump
not.
ahead.
Yeah, hold your horses, Johnny.
Yeah,
Come
but
on, we
it's
got.
not going to make sense in your psycho. Listen, when we break this down and we format this, it's not going to make sense. You guys are talking out both sides of your fucking ass. Uh-oh. A
Okay.
silence is over the
Oh,
room.
it's gonna make sense. You'll see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, all right. So next up, we had second match of the night, the NXT Championship. We had Jordan Grace going for the championship against JCJ. Is it JC? No, JC Jane.
JC Jane. Yeah, JC
JC
Jane.
Jane. All right. So this was the boring match of the night. Um, I really wasn't impressed with it. JC Jane had her 2 girls on the outside. Jordan Grace had the new to the company, um, Blake Monroe, aka Mariah May from AEW, on the outside. Um, Jordan Grace is over. I feel until she gets in the ring. Like I think when she gets in the ring, it's like the crowd loses it. I lose it with her. Um, I think that's why they put her up on SmackDown and they sent her back down very quickly. And I didn't understand, what was the whole deal with Blake Monroe instantly turned on her and caused her to lose. I don't.
Okay. Well, basically, you weren't paying attention to what I said, what I thought about that. When they did that little vignette, she said, "Don't. I won't need you to interfere. Don't worry. Well, that's kind of like insulting. Don't worry. I don't need you, but you want me out there. But don't worry.
Okay.
You want me. See, so
Mm.
there's the reasoning for that term.
Thank
But
you.
as far you're going to be thanking me a lot tonight when I get done with reasoning with you guys. As far as this match goes, I rate this match as on the same level as the opening match. It was very entertaining for the first 20 minutes or 15 minutes that it went. I think JC Jane and her crew and Monroe are going to be a hell of an improvement in either SmackDown or Raw because these girls all have the it factor. They
Yeah.
are talent, and there's going to be 4 girls that'll be losing their job eventually on either Raw or SmackDown. I could see the writing on the wall First one I see gone is Bailey. She needs to take some time off and move
Yeah,
over for JC. Listen.
yeah.
You say no all you want. Okay. Is there a real place for um um the other one, the Heart Girl, Neidhart? Is there a place for her on the card? No. Is there a place
That's
for
why
Trish?
you never say her.
Is there a
No,
place for Trish Stratus on the card? No. Is
No.
there a place? No. Yeah, you can listen. When I'm done going through the roster, is there a place for Nikki Bella? No.
hell no, hell
Okay.
no.
When you have four girls, I just mentioned four individual girls. No certain reason for any of the picking that I did because none of the particulars mean anything as far as it goes. When you have four new talented girls that have a look, a sex appeal, and have the ability for marketability, you see four girls that are going to be four stars in the very near future. And there was a lot of that tonight where there isn't any of this on the men's side of the field. And this is what's wrong with the WWE right now. As I said in the beginning when we were opening, this card was 10 times better than the crap they fed you last night with 109 commercials.
Yeah.
10 product placement commercials. The advertising is beyond vomit, okay? And tonight's card was excellent. It was excellent. These girls upheld the
I'm shaking my head. Yes.
WWE. Yes, I know you are. I know you are. And as far as this match goes, it was very great to see refreshing new talent on the horizon. And that's why that's why this match should have been on the card, not that first match.
All right. Let me ask you guys this about this. First of all, because I don't watch NXT, JC Jane, I was impressed with the two girls on
Very,
the outside. Have
very
you
good.
have they're good?
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good. You know what you have there? The new TNA, when they used to have the beautiful people, which
Yeah.
I think was the
I
greatest
never know
entrance,
why
the
Vince never
greatest
signed them.
entrance in professional wrestling, bar none. I don't care what any of you guys think about this guy or that guy. When you see the beautiful people come into the ring with their entrance, it is pure entertaining. Okay. And that's from a man's perspective. And if
Mhm.
you don't see that as entertainment as a man, I'm sorry, you're not a man. If you rather see the likes of LA Vomit and seeing Creep, these girls had it all over them tonight. But that's the second match. I give it 2 stars, just like I give the first. Actually, I would have given it 3 stars, but I did see some flubbing. I
Yeah.
did see that, but that's to be expected with the likes of green talent being on the main roster and
Mhm.
holding it up. And I give them girls all the credit, and they deserve it. Not Valkyrie with the stiff wings and the stiff walk. And Becky, I'm sorry, like I said, you just got handed a raw deal. That title that they're giving you to give to Stephanie Valkyrie, I see it coming. She's the future.
All right. Let me ask Gianni. Let me ask you two questions. Number one, the two girls on the outside. What are your thoughts on them?
Honestly, I haven't seen them. I don't watch
Okay.
NXT.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah,
Next question. Then I'm going to start with you, Gianni. Thoughts on Jordan Grace?
I love Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace, I've watched her in the Indies when
Okay.
she was um, thicker, should I say?
Yeah.
She had a different haircut, buzz cut, and everything. I mean, I've loved Jordan Grace since early 2000s,
Wow.
2008,
Okay.
2009. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
She hasn't come out of her. Well, WWE hasn't let her perform the way everyone who hasn't seen her outside of WWE or has seen her outside of WWE and who knows uh, she's a future Hall of Famer. She is. She's a future Hall of Famer in my opinion, and they call her Big Mama Pump for a reason because she's a badass. She's a
Hmm.
badass, and I really
So
hope.
basically, they're holding her back.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, Hot Body. What do you think about Jordan Grace?
I don't like the gimmick. She has talent, Gianni says.
Hmm.
I don't like the gimmick, and I don't see her getting a push. I think she's rubbed somebody the wrong way
Mm.
in what do you call it in performing when they come up with your gimmicks and they
Hmm.
come up with they either write you a good spot or they write you a bad spot. And
Right.
to me, it just seems that she's written mid card. I'm sorry, she
Yeah.
has
No, I agree.
talent, but I don't see her coming out. You know, if they do give her anything, it's because it's the participation award or the Selena Vega award, as I like to call it. Some of the worst talent with the worst attitude and doesn't deserve to even be in the ring because their ego perceives them.
Mm. There you go. All right,
You know who
And
Michelle.
that's
she's married
coming
to?
from and that's coming from Johnny Hotbody.
You know,
Not
you know,
me.
you
Not
know who
me,
she.
John. I'm talking like if I was Johnny Hotbody and I had that eccentric ego and had that stink ego, nobody wants to work with you. You know what I mean? It's truth.
You know who she's married to? Jonathan Gresham, one of the best technical wrestlers
I,
around.
I really don't care who she's married to because to me she's not I
Mm.
don't have nothing for her. I wouldn't as far as hiring goes and the way it works. If your husband's in, your wife's in, or if your wife's in, the husband's in. Whichever way it goes, Selena Vega is holding a spot where someone talented, more talented than her, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
speaking in the girls' locker room, is not working because she's there. She's 3 foot of nothing. She doesn't have anything. Her charisma is her. She has no charisma. You see it when she comes out. The fans don't. And speaking, they do pump in sound. And when
Mm.
Selena Vega comes out, there's a lot of pumping.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about Selena Vega. I was talking about Jordan Grace, who her
Oh,
husband is.
well, even her. I don't.
Yeah.
Who's she married to? Let me guess. So she's married to a girl. I
No,
don't know.
Jonathan Gresham.
Okay, well that really means nothing to me. I
Mm,
mean seriously,
no
is
problem.
it's cool, but
Yeah.
thank you for that enlightening me on that end. But for me, Jordan Grace is not given a shiny medal as far as a gimmick goes.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she's carrying herself, and she doesn't like what she's got. Like you said, they're holding her back. So when she walks to the ring, you see that attitude, and that's what I call the Selena Vega.
Mm.
Okay.
All right, we got the Brooklyn Ballbusters is in the house. It's Joey the
Nice.
Bouncer from Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Love you guys. Love you guys. Are always on the money. What's up,
Welcome.
Joey? Joey's a good dude.
What's up, Joey?
What's up, Joey?
Hey, Joey, I got something I want to sell you, Joey.
Michelle says she agrees with Johnny 100%. Becky carried the match. She's giving it 3 stars. And she
Okay.
also says Jordan Grace is a badass, but they won't give her any kind of push.
You see what Michelle's saying and Gianni's saying. They must know a lot more about Jordan Grace than I even do. As far as I could see, she definitely does have the talent, but she
Mm,
doesn't walk to the ring with that shine on her.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looks like she's going to do her work. She's going to accept what they give her, and that's what she does. And that's what I see these things. The body language is what I study. I do not know a lot of things, Gianni. I really do.
not arguing with you. She doesn't have that Rhea Ripley shine.
Yes, yes, yes,
Lackadaisical.
yes.
Hang on 1 second. I was going to
And I
send.
and I get and I give the match a 3. I agree with Johnny Hotbody.
Okay. And you still say that the first match was a 4.
Yeah,
I
I do.
I give I give that match a 2.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because the only reason why it's a three, because it's opening up another program between Grace and Mariah May or whatever her name is. So
Yeah, I'm digging Mariah May, man. I'm telling you, I said 2 weeks ago when they signed her that they were very fortunate to pick her up. AEW dropped the ball with her, and we're going to be talking a lot more AEW in the future. There's fans out there, I know, and Johnny Hotbody over the weekend has become a fan of a lot of what they're doing. I could give him a lot of advice. I could help them in the production part of this because they are flubbing it up a little bit, and they do need help. And when you're going to have a guy like me and Chubby do a show based upon you, you're going to like what you hear coming from us too. Nobody else is doing it.
I have friends in AEW, Johnny.
Well, you tell your friends in AEW that Johnny Hotbody likes what he sees, and he's going to be talking a whole lot on their end. And when Johnny Hotbody speaks, you know everybody listens.
Bill Hansen said, "Put the belts on Grace. Put
Oh yeah.
all the belts on Grace."
You see, I'm telling you, they must know something more than I do about her. And if they're holding her back, that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a lackluster performance because that's what they want her to give.
I think you're right there. Like the way you were saying how you can see when she's walking down the aisle, she doesn't have that shine. In
Yeah.
TNA, the couple matches I saw in TNA, she had that shine.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing that Johnny Hotbody's able to do that a lot of people aren't able to do. I'm able to tell the truth and pick out the nuances and tell you what's really going on in their minds. Because believe me, I had that same mindset at one time. I was a performer. I wasn't much of a wrestler, but I was a hell of a performer.
Did you ever see her women's X Division match?
I've seen like two or three of her matches. I'm telling you, I've seen her, but I've never seen the performances of
Hmm.
when there's a lot of that. A lot of these performers or stars, whatever you want to call them, they're able to do it on the indie circuit, or they're able to do it in their local what do you want to call it? What did Vince McMahon, the territories? Well, the territories are back. Vince, nobody tell anybody, but the territories are back in a lot of areas. These small time shows are starting to draw because they're able to do something that the WWE has dropped the ball on, and that's perform.
I mean, look at for example, Cody. Cody when he was on the Indies. Look at Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona when he was Zack Ryder was a dork, in my
Yeah, well,
opinion. Look
well,
at him
this is
now.
yeah, well, this is what Johnny Hotbody's saying. When you're told not to perform and you're a real talent, it eats away at you, man, and you begin to hate the business. You lose your love for the business. This is what happened to me, and this show ain't about me, and it's not about any of the other guys on the indie circuit, but a lot of them, they lose their love, man, and you
Mhm.
start taking it as a job. When you start your journey into professional wrestling, it's because you were a fan first and you loved it secondly, or you loved it first and you were a fan secondly. Whichever way it was, you did not ever go into the business thinking that your hopes and dreams are going to be controlled by some jerk off with a cigar in his mouth, with a pocket full of money. You sell yourself short, you sell your soul, you sell your dreams, you sell your hopes. Next thing you know, you're selling your ass, and you're in a locker room with somebody giving you a line of fucking blow, and you're working for ECW. Oops, I shouldn't have said that.
Anyway, you were good
On that
until
note,
that part.
oh God,
Well,
yeah.
listen, you know, I like to hit a speed bump every now and then because I don't want to take the show from us. But let's go, bro.
All right, next match was the Fatal Four Way match. We had the Kabuki Warriors taking on Zarya and Soroka versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. taking on the champions, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez.
This
Very,
I have a
very nice, entertaining match.
I have a problem with this match. Big problem. It would have been
Well,
it would have been a better match. Great match. I'm not taking it away. It would have been a better match, in my opinion, if it was a gauntlet match, because we just had another battle royal. We had two battle royals in this event. If it was a gauntlet match, it would have meant more, in my opinion.
See,
They had.
when they first put that match together, that's what I thought it was going to be. Was a gauntlet
Hmm.
match,
Hmm.
not a fatal four way. I think that's the initially that's probably what the route they should have went. But I like the way it turned out.
Yes, yes, but
I
they had to earn the title. But I give the outcome I liked. Go ahead, Johnny. I'm sorry.
well, thank you, sir. Um, I happen to be very entertained by this match. I think it was a lot better than the opening match. I'm going to keep referring back to the opening match because you guys both gave it 4 stars. You see, this is going to be the problem with your analysis on the first match versus this four-way match right here. I think the Kabuki Warriors, you know, Asuka is great.
Mhm.
The Pirate Princess, she's not that good. She's not that good. I'm sorry. When she gets in there, you're looking for the other girls to carry her through the match,
Do you
and
get
they're
nervous
literally.
when she gets in there? I get
Yeah, I
nervous.
do. I do. And when Alexa Bliss got in the match I with against her, I was a little bit nervous because I happen to
Hmm.
like Alexa Bliss. I think she is a fantastic talent. It was funny to see Charlotte get booed as she came out and Alexa get cheered. They nearly blew the roof off for Alexa Bliss. Did you guys notice that?
Yes.
I was going to ask you guys this because
Yeah.
she was from the time when I was not watching wrestling. Alexa
Oh,
Bliss.
she's fantastic, brother. Oh, what a
She
great
is
talent.
she is so fucking over. Why are they doing nothing with her? That's what I'm confused about.
She just came back
Oh,
not too long ago.
the, I'll
Yeah,
tell
but
you what.
it's been almost 6 months.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what they're doing with her. They're trying to build a personality for Charlotte. You understand? They had to
Yes.
attach Alexa Bliss because she like actually Michael Cole made a statement. She's the most loved person in the dressing room by all the
Hmm.
girls and the
Yeah.
guys. And when it comes to Charlotte, she's the most hated. Do you know
Yeah.
she's the most hated sports figure in sports entertainment and in sports in general? As far as football, basketball, hockey, she's the most hated star in all sports
Wow.
Did,
entertainment. And all
did
sports are entertainment. I hate to break the news to you people out there in the world of stupidity.
did you notice too? Um, I guess it was this week or maybe last week. Charlotte did the Undertaker's podcast,
Hmm.
and they were like they had some good fun. I've seen like clips online, and like you can tell like they were really trying to get her over as like a lovable person,
Yeah.
and and it was like after watching the clips I saw, I was like she doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's the first thing wrong you said tonight. The Undertaker show. I wouldn't watch that. I'm sorry. I'd rather watch my walls dry with paint on them. The Undertaker. Are you joking me? And as far as Charlotte having any kind of personality, charisma, or anything, I'm not buying it, man. They could do all the popularity. What do you call that when you have that person that works for you?
That
Your
that
your
publicist, the
yeah, that
PR
Yes.
publicist
person.
person.
PR. Yes.
Listen. I'm not buying it. I don't care who she has as her publicist. She sucks. She sucks as a life. She sucks in life. She sucks as a person, and she sucks as a wrestler. If her name wasn't Flair, she wouldn't be there. Someone that belongs there is Tessa Blanchard. Not
Yeah.
not
Hmm.
not 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 Ric Flair's daughter. I'm sorry, we weren't talking about Tessa Blanchard, were we? And as far as the
Well, we
rest
should
of
be.
it, as far as the rest of that match goes, this Sol Ruka Oh my God, what a
Yeah,
talent! What a talent! What a
absolutely,
talent! Oh my
absolutely.
God! Shh, don't tell anybody. I'd marry her in a New York second. That girl is gorgeous. I don't care about her wrestling ability. Oh yes, she did have ability, and she's got this move that I've never seen anyone execute ever. She does this inside flip when she takes these girls down and reverses them into some kind of bulldog. It is fantastic, man. It is very fantastic. And this is what I'm telling you. These girls that are coming up are going to kill the men's
Yeah,
division.
They
There's
already are.
nothing to look for.
yeah,
Yeah, look, man, you
yeah.
got America's princess, Seth Rollins, who can't stop wearing Becky's clothes to the ring. He doesn't know whether he's a man or a woman. These are my opinions, yeah, and I'm allowed to have
I,
an opinion,
y- y-
I'm going to say a lot here tonight. When you got a lot of these creeps that are in the division of the WWE, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying none of them. That you only have a few talented men in the division. McIntyre being one of them, and they all fall from the wayside. I'm not buying John Cena. He's a scrub. Cody Rhodes, please, man, are you kidding me? He's one of the worst talents you ever seen in the ring. Actually, he's a no talent in the ring. He's boring. And then you guys all love this spastic retard, the Wolfie Uso. Come on, man. The Usos, I'm sick and tired of the Usos. Give it a break. There's a family that needs to go away from wrestling for about 5 years. Go get a real job. Go earn a life, man. For real. You've had your lives handed to you from Alpha and Sika, and even those two were a far cry from talent. And I know what I'm talking about because I know when it comes to wrestling what talent it is. And Alpha and Sika weren't talent. These are my opinions, and everything that I say is based upon my knowledge of professional wrestling, what I seen growing up as a kid, and what I know from being in the business. And as far as these women tonight, this tag team match, this was a 3-star match. This was a 3-star match. That you guys are missing it. You want to
That's
give
right.
the
That's what I
yeah.
say.
This
That's
was
what I
a
said too.
very, very, very good match, man. All around, from the beginning to the ending. There were flubs, yeah, here and there, but I'll tell you what. There were no commercials in between it, and it was 10 times better than the garbage that you watched on Saturday night's main event. That one match alone.
It would have been a 4-star match in my opinion if it would have been a gauntlet. And, that's just me. But
Gauntlet, schmauntlet. Listen,
well,
dude,
uh,
the match was good. It was
it
good.
was
It
good.
was good. It don't
Yeah.
listen. Like I was saying last night. The problem with a lot of the problem with the WWE and everybody, this is, I'm going to turn these all on to a secret. The reason why the WWE is failing miserably is because the writers and the talent people and the people that are in charge of it are letting the idiots control it. They're giving the fans exactly what they want, and when you let the insane criminal mind loser inmates who run the asylum, this is what you get, the garbage.
But one last thing about Alexa Bliss, when from what I heard was she was supposed to come back and feud with uh what is her name and the Wyatt Six, what is her name, Nikki
Nikki
Cross.
Cross. Yes, Nikki Cross.
She was supposed to feud with her and have a program with her and over being the main girl in the Wyatt Six, but I guess that fell by the wayside.
That's a stupid. Let me ask you something, Gianni. Who was thinking that? The fans, because that's a stupid idea. You know what she's doing right now? You don't hear me. I'm going to knock on the TV set. Knock, 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 knock. She's there to give Charlotte a personality, something she cannot buy or find. Alimony checks don't give you one. Drinking don't give you one. Yeah, when the odds are stacked against you, there's only two things you could be: Charlotte Flair are Charlotte Flair.
How about that? All right, so I'm going to say I give it a 3 star. Michelle says the tag match is great. I love Alexa Bliss and Charlotte together. I'm giving it 3 only because I think there should have been a title change. Well, they can't take they couldn't have taken the title off of them right now because right now it's all about building Raquel and Roxanne as the tag team and as champions to build the storyline for when Liv comes back.
And Liv will be back.
Oh, she will be back.
And
She
and and not for nothing, Rosie Perez sucks. I'm sticking to my guns here. Rosie Perez is not a prodigy. She may be as big as a flea, but she's
I think she's
definitely
good.
not a prodigy. No,
I think
she's
she's
not.
good. I
No,
think she's a
she's
hell of
not.
a worker.
She's
Oh my
progressed since she's
God!
got
And
here.
you
Yeah.
and oh my! And you think Carlo Rossi's a good wine?
No, I don't. I didn't say that. I
Who
never
Well,
said
you
said
that.
that?
sure drink
Who-
it like it is. You sure
I'm not
drink
drinking
it like
Carlo
it
right
is.
now. I'm not drinking
Listen,
Carlo right now.
Paisan. Yeah, you're
Nah.
drinking Carlo right now, but you don't like it. Okay. And
No,
you,
I'm
and
not
you,
drinking Carlo right now.
oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, all right. Well, I'm wrong. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Okay, let me say this before we go into the next match. Let's go back on this Sol Roca. So is she a singles? Is she a tag team with the Zarya girl? What's her deal in NXT?
She is a singles and a tag team. She wrestled 3 matches in 2 nights.
Yes.
Okay, that's how talented this girl is. Freaking amazing, amazing. It doesn't
Hmm.
make a difference what she's in. Oh my God, she has it written all over her, man. She definitely does. She'll be a main roster call up in a heartbeat. They just
I,
gotta
I
fire. They just
I'll
gotta
tell you what.
fire Charlotte Flair.
I bet you they after this past weekend, I bet you she gets the call within the next week or two.
I guarantee you she's going to be wearing a belt. That's for sure. And I would love to see her come in and take the Intercontinental belt from Becky.
But
It'd be a hell of a way to train her for the big time and get her ready. And
I
and
just
that's usually what they do with these with these
I
belt holders. They get the other talent ready.
I understand it. I understand what you're saying, Johnny, but she doesn't need a belt. She's that good. She's that good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. She is that good. Yeah, but Triple Nose.
Yeah.
He's looking for shirts.
Hey, that's an important thing. I agree. Don't like Roxanne Perez at all. She's awful, says Michelle.
Michelle. This is talking to Michelle now. Michelle agrees with me a lot, man. Imagine the wife she would be. That's all. You guys can think about that. I said what I had to say. Imagine the
Hey.
amazing wife she would be. She agrees with everything Johnny Hotbody says.
Michelle's a good. Michelle's a great girl. Hi, Michelle. How you doing?
All right, next match. We had one of the World Championship matches. We had Trish Stratus taking on the champion, Tiffany Stratton. It was Tiffy time. And, when both girls came out, I mean, it was a pretty silent crowd. There was no
Yeah.
heat or nothing built up for this match at all.
Is it just me or does Tiffy suck at promos? Great, good in the ring, but sucks at promos.
Yeah,
Is
she's
her
still got to work
career
on that.
well being able to work and not cut a promo won't make you have a job for too long, not unless they give you a mouthpiece alongside of you. Yeah, you're right. Her interviews are a little bit flaunted, and I believe that's because Charlotte Flair um, somehow was given, they give you the question before the answer, and
Hmm.
they made her out to not be able to give an answer. They wanted her to seem like a dumb blonde upstairs, you know. I disagree though. I think that Tiffany's a very smart girl. She was educated in a university. She was all collegiate or all something. Her athletic abilities are 10 times better than most of the girls that are in that locker room.
Agreed.
That's for
I
sure.
agree. I agree.
Okay. And as far as it was a nice match, was it a good match? It was a 2-star match.
Yeah, yeah.
It was good enough to get Tiffy over, because now, is if you heard Michael Cole speak, she's beaten everyone.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Tiffy's beaten everyone. She's got 3 wins over Nia Jax alone,
So
and she's won the title. So they like her. She's going to hold that title for quite some time. I believe she'll be holding it until Stephanie Valkyrie. I know that Stephanie's definitely getting a title, and I think it would be from Tiffany.
see,
I don't see it going the other way.
that's another one. But before I state what I think of that with Stephanie, Tiffany's getting the Maria Kanellis treatment, because Maria Kanellis is very intelligent, and she acted like a dumb uh, girl. She acted stupid. That was her personality. Not she has a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they want that. They want that
yeah.
because they need to have personalities, and sometimes these writers shoot themselves in the foot by making these girls seem one way when they're actually the other. You know,
She seems nervous to talk on the microphone.
yeah,
She
but
does.
I'm
I got
telling
that.
you, she's in shock from what they did with what Charlotte did to her. Man,
Yeah.
they're not giving her a good position to look like she knows what what like she knows what to say.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want her to look that way. It's the same way you have what's her name? Oh God, the U.S. girl, the U.S. champion that lost it with the 2 girls on the side, the international. I
Oh,
can't think of her name.
Chelsea
Chelsea
Green.
Green.
Chelsea
Chelsea
Green.
Green.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had a brain fart there. Chelsea Green, another great talent.
Yes.
Another great talent. But they make her play like she's as dumb as a box of rocks.
She's not.
Some
She's
of these
not.
girls need that. Some girls will do that. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And as far
Well,
as Stephanie Valkyrie goes, I don't. I say go straight to the heavyweight title, because she's that
yeah.
good. I'm impressed by her immensely. Sorry, babe.
Well,
No, I agree.
after Naomi comes in and makes the steal for the title, I don't see Stephanie going for that title at all.
No.
That title's going to be around Naomi for a while, but we're not there yet.
All right. So let me say this. I felt Trish Stratus worked her ass off. I was highly surprised. She did a lot better than I was expecting. And you know, Tiffy has the prettiest moonsault ever. That fucking swanton she did off the top rope might be even prettier than the moonsault. It was it was like she was in slow motion and just graceful. It was fucking. It was a thing of. It was a work of art. It really was.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But it's a shame that the match, the build up, the reasoning, all that, it didn't capture the audience. It wasn't sold, and that was the problem with this pay-per-view or PLE. None of it was built up the way they built up that trash that they gave you for Saturday night's main event, where Goldberg got the royal shafting he deserved. My opinion. I can't stand Goldberg, and I am so glad that he looked like the idiot he is.
We have
Pull the
another
pull the mic on him. Hurry up. You know what that's like with Goldberg? Somebody got the cane and yanked him off stage
like
like
the
the
Gong
vaudeville
Show.
acts. Yeah, yeah, Gong Show. They got rid of that
Uh,
moron.
poor guy's got his mother in the ring and everybody
Who
else.
cares? Who cares? Listen, man. If we had to worry about everybody's mom, every wrestler's mom that's watching wrestling, listen, these are men. Stop worrying about your moms.
Hi, Ma.
We got another Paisan in the house. Giovanni, he says Trish Stratus should have won.
Yeah.
What's Giovanni's last name?
Right, Giovanni. Trish Stratus
Sabala.
would have won. Listen,
Hey,
Trish Stratus.
Patan.
All right, here's a point. Here's a point that should have been made. He should have kept him up on the screen because I want to ask Giovanni a question, or Gianni, whatever. Listen, how old is Trish Stratus?
50
Does
something?
it matter? Does it
49.
matter? All right, does it matter? Yeah, it matters because they made a big deal about Goldberg's age, right? Goldberg, if he won the title, would he be able to win? Would he be able to go on? He's 50 years old, blah, 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 blah. But he looks like he's in great shape, blah, blah, blah. How come nobody said Trish Stratus, if she wins the title, she ain't going to be able to defend it because of her age?
Not
a
peep.
peep. Well,
You know why?
I'm here to say it. If Trish Stratus would have won that title, how many matches do you think her crippling old body could have held up? That she's had birth, she's given birth. I don't think her bones are as strong as they were 15, 20 years ago. These are my opinions. You girls can say what you want.
You know what?
I don't care how good she looks. Everybody looks good with their clothes on. When you take off your clothes, shit drops from everywhere.
She actually looks tinier now than she did 20 years ago.
Yeah, I happen to know Trish. She's a great girl. I know her or knew her, whatever the case may be. She's a great girl and all that, but in all reality, like I said, Trish, stay home.
Michelle says, "Hi, Gianni and Johnny. Because I have the same mindset as you do about wrestling. Sol Ruca is unbelievable. I think that girl has springs in her feet by the way she moves."
Yep. And that's not coming from no girl that's in her 40s or 50s.
We're going to start the Sol Ruca fan club pretty soon. And we have a special guest that wants to join the show tonight.
Whoa.
I think Mr. HotBody will be very happy about this. This is a complete surprise. I was not expecting this. He's fixing his glasses, I see, as he's getting ready. He might even be puffing on a cigarette. He might even have his dog with him to chime in.
Janetti. Janetti.
Gentlemen.
Welcome to the show.
Mr. I do have my dog with me.
We know that. That's what took him so long. He was out walking the dog.
I was. Johnny told me to go walk my dog. I went and walked my dog. And I had a cigarette while I was doing it.
How'd you go from Florida to Philly? Jesus. How are you, Jimmy?
This guy could smoke cigarettes, walk the dog, and still go to the top rope and do a moonsault. And he's overweight and he's old. I don't care what anybody says. Jimmy Janetti is one of the most talented wrestlers that may have ever laced his boots and never got anywhere, only because Jimmy really didn't care.
No.
No.
I still don't give a shit. It's so bright in here.
It is very bright in there. What the hell are you doing?
It's Florida.
It's like you're out in the sun.
Yeah, hold on.
Dude, it's Florida. What did you expect?
Turn the light out like HotBody.
I do this because I speak from the shadows.
There it is. A little better.
He speaks from the shadows.
That's right. If anybody listen, that's why I'm always in the dark. Johnny HotBody speaks from the shadows. I was blackballed from the business, so I might as well keep it in the dark.
Well, let's ask Janetti. Did you see? I'm assuming you will watch the show tonight.
Yeah, Evolution. I did see.
Okay.
Yes.
We just talked about the Trish Stratus Tiffany Stratton match. Thoughts and opinions?
I was happy to see Trish. Always happy to see Trish. I think she's awesome. For some reason, this match tonight looked way off.
Okay.
Compared to the stuff she was doing with Becky Lynch last year.
Yes. It was lackluster.
The match looked very jumbly, especially at the end.
Mm.
Do you,
there was a couple flaws.
Yeah, it just didn't. Now I don't know if it's whatever the case was. It wasn't the entire match. It was more at the end than anything else. But it's like these two didn't gel for whatever reason.
Do you think it was a kind of the way they sprung it on and just popped it in and Tiffy picks Trish Stratus to be her opponent? Do you think they just called Trish last minute and said, "Hey, you want to work Tiffany Stratton on the Evolution?"
You missed the boat on this one, Chubb. The reason why she got to work her basically was they tagged together.
Yeah.
And because they tagged, she gave her the opportunity to work against her. In the interview they cut in the ring, she said it would be great if you'd give me an opportunity so it would be 8 times,
Yeah.
They tried to build it up at the last minute, but it's like I said, it's a 2-star match. It's a 2-star match. Like he said, he's seen the flubbing. I seen it. There was an uncomfortableness. Absolutely. I believe the uncomfortableness is more on the lines of, here you go. This has happened before. This is speaking from actually witnessing this. You have a person who's making it in the business, and now they're working with someone who they see as their idol. They're nervous. They're nervous. They have an unsettled feeling in them. And when they get in the ring with their idol there, it sometimes doesn't go the way it should. And that's where you get that flubbing on the going home, as they say in the inside. When it's time to go home, oh well, I missed the spot, or the spot wasn't perfect, and you worried about it, and now you forgot about the next spot. These things do happen, and this is why that was a 2-star match. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that we got someone intelligent down here with us.
How about that? All right. Next up, before we get into the next match, they did another little pan of the front row, and we had TWA alumni and also TWA special guest referee from One and Done. Medusa was in the house sitting front row tonight. So it was good to see Deucey. And then
she scares me.
Dude, you know what?
They did a close up on her. I'll tell you, man, it scared the shit out of me, man. I thought I was walking through a freaking cemetery. I thought fucking the crypt keeper popped up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, listen, man, listen. She's, oh my God, she's rough on the eyes. Thank God I don't have to wake up to Medusa, because for real, she would turn me to stone.
Wow.
Also, nice seeing
as I see it. I'm sorry.
Also, nice seeing Leilani Kai in the
sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's good seeing people who were so full of themselves when they were younger look so horrible when they're older.
A lot of people I went to high school with. I love going to reunions and seeing they look like shit now. Sorry.
All right. So next match we had with the speaking of special guest referee, Bianca Belair was special guest referee. And then we had Jade Cargill in a no holds barred match against Naomi.
We didn't care about this match. They didn't.
Naomi was too happy about getting the title, my friend. Let me tell you something. Everybody knew that Jade Cargill wasn't going to be able to perform on the level of Naomi. Let's call it as it is. I love Naomi's look. I love the razor blades and the caution tape. She's so crazy. I loved it. I loved the whole deal. And as far as Bianca, she's such a cutie, Bianca. I don't care what she does. She's such a cutie. She's a joy to watch, regardless of what it is. And I can't wait till she turns heel.
Did you see? Go ahead.
I was going to say, was there any disappointment that she did not turn heel and interfere in this match?
I know there wasn't any. I don't think sometimes there's too much going on, and you don't need to take away from what the big picture is going to be at the end. You know what I'm saying? I think it was I think for real, as far as the match goes, there's another 2-star. It's another 2-star match.
Yeah.
Naomi. It's only because Jade Cargill is, I don't care, man. I think that they wasted their money on this cosplay gimmick of the Storm. The Storm was when they see the bank check every week that they got to write. Somebody's blowing their stack going, we're paying her how much? That's the real Storm. But as far as Naomi goes, it was great. It was great to see. I'm sorry, I don't want to take it from it. But yeah, it was great to see Naomi. 2-star match.
Did you see the cane shot that Naomi did Jade Cargo in the head? Did you see that?
Yeah.
And also at the very end, when Jade won, Bianca and Jade had a moment eye to eye. Did you see that? That's a little cliffhanger right there, as far as I'm concerned.
I tell you, Bianca's going to turn heel. And I can't wait for that. I love Bianca. She's a joy to watch, and it's been a joy to watch her work as a face, and the heel can only be 10 times better. She's got the ability to work her ass off. That's for sure. Let me tell you on something, Gianni. I'm going to blow your mind and all the listeners' minds in the world. That kendo cane doesn't hurt. I don't care. You could swing it from here. You could swing it from Philadelphia through Chicago up into Florida, across the field to California. That thing does not hurt at all. It bends around you, and the only way it does hurt is if they slide the rope on it and make it stiff, like I did the time I hit. I was in the ring, and I ran in there and had a clean house against some Caribbean assassin team or whatever it was. I kendo sticked them, and the stick was uptight. Man, were they angry? Man, I beat the shit.
It's all about the way it looks and the noise on some aspects as well.
Yeah, but
like say
hurt.
Say you go to the ring with I'll give you two choices: 2x4s or baking sheets. Which one are you taking? I'm taking a baking sheet because it feels like it killed the guy. The sound.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we used to go to like the dollar store and buy all those things before the shows because you're with frying pans and all that. You go for $5, $7, and you're coming out with a nice little fucking thing with the cookie sheets and everything. It was great.
Listen, if you bought a $1 cheese grater, it was usually more razor sharp than the $10 cheese grater. So when we would go to the dollar store, we'd come out with the cheese graters. They really cut you, man. That was juicing the hard way. And it burnt. And when you got in the shower, that shit burnt like crazy, man.
I miss the old days, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this about this match. I feel this was probably Jade's best singles match she had because it was just how much can you take getting hit with stuff, and she did that good, and she was able to deliver some nice stuff, and she didn't have to actually put an effort for it in that working.
I give it a 2.
Yeah, I'm good with a 2. Janetti?
Yeah, I'd go 2. I'm wondering how if Naomi broke her nose or she just cut on her nose.
I think it's a cut because it was bleeding when she won the title at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, but she came out with the butterfly over top. So I'm just wondering if it's broken.
Interesting.
If she has black eyes, the freaking eyes bleed and your eyes swell and you got black and blue eyes and shit like that, man. You know if your nose is broke, man.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts, man. I got my nose broke by Ultimate Warrior. Clotheslined me across my nose.
Jeez.
All right, Magic Mike is in the house. What's up, guys?
Hey, Mike.
Michelle says, "What's up, Jimmy? Another two-star match, and not a fan of Trish. That was about the Trish and Tiffy match." Magic Mike says, "Double J is in the house." That's right. J A double N E double T Y.
But back to that Trish status. At the very end, you could tell on her look on her face she wasn't happy with the match. You could tell.
Yeah, it's, whatever the ending was, there was a lot of flubs going on as they were trying to get into it, and you can honestly tell that there was a few what does Hardy call it? That swanton bomb
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
he gave to Trish landed completely on her.
Yeah.
There was that was yeah.
She took her knee to the side of the head. It was horrible.
I'm sure Trish was not very happy with whatever. Like I said, the flubs. It's nerves.
It's
Johnny
professional
said,
wrestling.
Yeah, but still, yeah. I think it would have been probably the better match of the card if it was not for that.
It was also kind of weird that the referee, when Tiffany was on the outside, kind of rushed her out. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? It was like, get out of here so Trish can have her moment.
I didn't see that, but that makes sense.
You know what? I really thought that maybe Trish might say retire, give her speech over there, but
right.
It looked like that kind of because she was going up and the thing, but she didn't. So whatever reason,
the fans took it as a retirement. They were going, "Thank you, Trish," whatever.
Yeah.
To me, Trish should retire, and not for nothing. Is it just me, or are we getting old? Everybody's retiring.
We're getting up there.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it. Michelle says again, Johnny took the words right out of my mouth. I can't wait for Bianca to turn. She's going to beat Jade senseless.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely looks like that's the straight. That's where it's headed.
Well, she, Bianca carried her as a tag team partner. I guess she can carry her in a match too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bianca's pretty damn talented. Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She is.
How many more years is on Jade's contract?
I bet you the TKO people are looking at that every week.
They'll probably have a party at the very end when that runs out. Oh my god, man! It's just wasted money.
I don't think you'll even realize she's going to be gone because with all the new talent that's coming up, they usually get shuffled around. Like I didn't even realize that Johnny Gargano's worthless wife was still employed by the company. And when I seen her come,
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae, she came out for that battle royal. I was like, what's she even doing there? Yeah.
There was so the battle royal was next. There was half the talent in that battle royal. I was like, A, who are they? And B, why are they there? And there's one person, I'm sorry, not to be a fucking dick. I try not to really rip on talent, but that B-Fab girl.
Worse.
She should be absolutely embarrassed. Whoever signed her should be fired.
The nose.
I can't believe somebody gave that girl a contract because what I saw in just that battle royal, her punches were the absolute worst, and she needs to not even be in the wrestling business. They need to get rid of her tomorrow.
They fired her and they brought her back. I don't know why.
Wow.
I'll tell you why. Some people use. Oh boy. Some people have ways of using intimidation factors that'll make you sign them more than you want to fire them. That's all I'll say on that. But the battle royal, who were they and why were they there? You asked that question. They were all there to make Stephanie Valkyr look like she won something when everybody knew she didn't even need that battle royal. That girl is fantastic. I did know a lot of the girls that were in that ring, Chubby, and a lot of those girls do have talent. A lot of those girls are more talented than the men roster. And I'm not lying to you. I
Oh,
don't say
I know.
jokingly, and I know some people would say, "Wow, Johnny, are you serious?" Yeah, I'm dead serious. It's that bad, the men's locker room, that the women outshined them. It doesn't make a difference who those girls were. Every one of them worked their asses off. There were a couple girls there that you seen that they were just getting a paycheck. Selena Vega, one of them, B Fab, the other. Yeah, that was real. It was real simple to see that their sparkle farts just weren't on tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah, sparkle farts. That's what I. You
Yes.
know, they had no luster to them. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sparkle farts.
When it comes, yeah, sparkle
Hash,
farts. The
I
hashtag
Johnny
got
Hot
sparkle
Body
force.
I
World.
gotta write that down.
Hashtag sparkle farts. There was
That's
no
a
Yeah.
sparkle
t-shirt.
farts. Yeah, everything Johnny Hot Body says is a t-shirt, brother. You should know me. And you
Was it?
know what's even funnier? The fact that WrestleMania is now stealing our thoughts and opinions and trying to make it theirs, along with that dirty moron Mantel. I told you these guys are listening to us. They kind of repeat us verbatim anymore. It's getting sickening. I like to smack the shit out of James Romero. I really would. But then again, I'm an old man, and not that my age has anything to do with it, really. Triple bypass surgery and a fused neck pretty much put a stop to Johnny Hot Body a long time ago. Definitely. And the fact that I need knees replaced. But yeah, these guys are stealing from us.
If
Is
I
it?
see somebody use sparkle farts, then I'll really be upset.
Is it
Listen,
just me, or did? Is it? Is it just me? Is it?
Yeah,
Let
I
me
think
spark.
the
Go ahead.
battle royal. Back to the battle royal. The Vega eliminating Julia, I think, was her redemption for losing the belt. That's the only shot she's going to get. She ain't getting that belt back. She probably won't get another shot at it.
Yeah.
So I think that was their. You paid her back here. Let you throw her out of the battle royal.
how good is that, Julia? Dude, she's all right. Go ahead.
I'm still not seeing the complete thing with her. She
Okay.
reminds me a lot of Io Sky and
Okay.
Ahsoka. What's her name?
Asuka?
Asuka.
Oscar.
Reminds me a lot of what Asuka was doing when she came out with the hand back and forth and all the other shit. I'm not seeing anything major out of her.
Well, once again, okay, keep watching because this girl is a future talent.
Oh, I'm sure she
Yes,
is.
you're not, you know, you do say something that's very relevant to the fact that Ito Sky, Asuka, there was the other girls. Who was the other girl that was part of that?
Ari Sane.
Carrie. They
Dakota
are.
Kai.
They're all that little clique, and they all have the same moves because they all come from the same school of wrestling, New Japan.
No, I understand that, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm not seeing anything special out of her that I haven't seen out of those three previously yet. So,
Well, I guess these other three.
I have no doubt that she'll be there for a long time. The problem being is you got to make yourself stand out more.
Exactly.
You got girls that came before you, and you're doing the same stuff as they are, and they're still there. In fact, so that's what I'm saying. She's got to. I haven't seen anything major out of her yet. She's got to come out of her show eventually.
What we could look for her too is a new faction, Ito Sky, Corey saying Julia. Oh my God, could you imagine? I cannot take it when they start yelling at each other. I want to turn the television.
Mm.
Is it just me
Sounds
or
like
did
listening to somebody on fast forward.
excuse me? Is it just me or did Nia Jax look miserable walking to the ring? Like just like she
Can you
didn't want to
blame
be
her?
there. No,
Well, like
no.
there's that attitude I tell you about that these girls have it sometimes when they're not going over and they feel they're going over and they can't get their shit in. And what do you mean I got to put this one over? Or what do you mean this one's putting me out? This is the
She's
problem
they
with
get
egos.
cycled through, and she's now
Yeah,
on that down cycle.
Yep.
yeah. But she'll be
Num-
back, regardless of how much of the down cycle Nia Jax goes through. She's always going to be there because, for number one, as some people like to think that her size is relevant to her ability to be there, I disagree. I think she's a very good performer, and I'll
She
give
is,
her
yes.
that. I think she's a very good performer. She deserves her job, and more so than a lot of girls that are there.
Agreed.
I have to ask Janetti because we've never had this discussion with Janetti. What is his opinion of Nia Jax? We've had positive and negatives from the peanut gallery over the last few months.
And mine's are all positive because I'm not the peanut gallery. I am the gallery.
Mr. Perverly over
I'm
here.
sure they were positively wonderful, John. I like Nia Jax at times. I can see her being dangerous at points. With her landing on people. I saw her land. I forget who the fuck it was. She landed on somebody with that Yokozuna butt splash from the top rope. And just like murdered. There's no way that you know what I mean.
Britt Baker. She did the Britt Baker before Britt Baker was Britt Baker.
Yeah. But no, no. Really?
Yeah, it was in Pittsburgh, and she broke Britt's nose in the
Are
process.
you telling me that Dr. Britt Baker was in the WWE?
Yeah, dark match. Yeah, she did a squash match.
Well, working with
know.
Nia Jax, I guess I get your joke there. Working with Nia Jax.
No, I'm being
it was
serious.
A squash match.
Either way, that's not who I saw because I saw it on television. So it was a dark match. It wasn't on television.
I do agree with Janetti. She does have that.
She can be unsafe, and I've heard that about her. Otherwise,
but
I mean,
when you're sitting out on a girl's chest, really, it's padding.
Yeah, but not the point.
That was a joke, a bad one.
I know, but
that was a Johnny HotBody bad moment.
What I'm saying is, I can see the being unsafe deal, but you need a bigger girl in there. I mean, God bless her; she's the biggest girl there, but she should be used less.
Yes.
So she doesn't have to sit there and do jobs, and you don't want her to do jobs for these other people. Yeah, she needed to get beat from Tiffy to cement that and put that away. Now that she's lost this battle royal, she should probably disappear for a little while until you need to spice it up again. And then you bring her back, just like they used to do with
Andre
or with any of the big people.
Yeah.
Because you don't want her doing jobs.
He makes a lot of sense. And he says he agrees with me. Nia is a talent.
And
she is a talent.
Another big girl.
But too much of her is too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
agree.
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't need to be there now. She should disappear for a little while. I don't know what the deal is with her and the little Candace chick, but it's not working. Whatever it is.
She doesn't need to be on every week.
No, she doesn't need to be on at all for a little while because they don't need her right now. They have other things that they're working on, and all they would be doing with her is either jobbing her out or putting her with somebody that they're trying to put over.
Another wasted talent that I think is Piper Niven. Piper Niven after this
Yeah.
bodyguard gimmick she's doing. If you go back on Peacock or wherever you watch wrestling, and you see when she was in the Indies, so to speak, she was a totally different worker, a better worker.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't have to do anything right now, and they don't really have anything to do with her.
No,
I mean, there's nothing that, it's all too much right now.
Well,
that was a great tag team, by the way. Too much.
Let's see. Oh, Magic Mike says, "Shock WWE doesn't put Jade down at NXT." Yeah, I mean they should have. They should have really put her down there and let her work down there and see what she can do.
Perspire.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up we had the main event of the night: Rhea Ripley going for the belt against Io Sky, and holy fuck, what a match! What a motherfucking match this was.
Was it better than the John Cena Cody Rhodes match?
This might be the match of the year.
There you go. And who was in it?
Ladies.
Yeah.
Who was in it again?
Io and Rhea.
Rhea.
Yes.
Rhea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Hotbody's favorite girl in the WWE, right there, Rhea Ripley. Yeah. Do we expect anything less from those two girls working a fantastic match? I think it's, like you said, one of the best matches that the WWE. Well, I'll go a step further. I'll say it's one of the best matches the WWE has put on TV in the last 3 events or 4 events that we've been talking about.
Agreed.
It was a 4-star match across the board.
5 stars.
A 5-star. I'm sorry, a 5-star match across the board. What else do you expect from Ito and Rhea, though? Great match. Scientifically, great. Psychology-wise, great. And the ending, what a surprise. No one expected it whatsoever. No one.
Now, let me ask this question. Being the fact that those two, they took that match and elevated it every fucking minute. That match just kept getting going and growing and growing and being fucking turned up so much. It was such an amazing match that it was great for business to do the finish they did with Naomi cashing in and winning the belt. But I also was kind of bummed for both of them that I felt after that one of those two deserved to keep that belt.
They won't
Not
get it
really.
back.
I think it's going to turn attention to that title. It might have to be the workhorse title now that Seth Rollins is gone. I mean, everybody's like, what's next? and last night I did say that Paulie would call Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is coming back. I told you he was already signed a while ago, and they're bringing him back in. Yeah,
They're going to have to.
Yeah, they're going to have to. I told you that. But on to this match. Rhea Ripley, if she leaves the WE, they're going to be losing another main eventer, and it would hurt them sorely.
Yeah. Well, I don't see that happening anytime soon, but the match, let me hear from Mr. Giannetti first.
Yeah, I'd go 4 stars. There was some, I don't know, I saw something in the middle of that match that it just looked off. It wasn't
What do you mean?
Up to par with them. I don't know what it was, and I'd have to watch it again to really get it. But there was a few things in the middle of that, like right before they drop kicked Carr out of the ring, the ref out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
There seemed to be some something. It just was off to me. But I'll go 4 stars.
Okay.
I
Gianni?
think what you were talking about, they were going too fast, more faster than usual, when they wanted to slow down the pace. I think now that I'm thinking about
Maybe there was a couple things that, like I said, just didn't look right. Like they were rushing. Maybe you're right. It's possible. Again, I'd have to watch the match again to like really pinpoint it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just something to me when they would do a move, it would just like that didn't look as crisp as it could have, or as good as it could. So I don't know if there was what there was in there, but they were going a while after that too. And
some of the kicks
looked pretty good after.
Some of the kicks and everything, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I don't, like I said, it could be they were rushing,
but
or it could be that they were,
Well, listen, not for nothing. I understand what you're saying, Jimmy, and you, Gianni, you agree with anything anyone says, so it doesn't make difference.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. But for the most part, let's say those spots that you're speaking about that look like they were flubs, maybe if they were actually one move synchronized after another, sometimes the most perfect match looks like it's been too rehearsed. Sometimes you need those misguided moments to make it seem like it's more authentic, because even the most professional sport that there is, there's always going to be a mess up. You can't have you can't have everything perfect and say it isn't choreographed. So yeah, listen, Janetti, I watched,
and that's not what I'm saying, dude.
I'm talking about the ability to sometimes, like you're saying, there was the timing may have been off here and there, and the kick. Maybe it was the referee who was out of place, and the girls had to position themselves to cover for the referee.
It's
know what I mean? That's possible. These things, everything's possible in a match, but as fast paced as that match was, I still think that was one of the best matches that the WWE has put on for a main event. These main events, the last few pay-per-views or PLEs, whatever we're calling them today, and we're not giving out flowers because we don't do that here, okay? But whatever the matches have been lately, they were nowhere near as good as this match tonight. And even WrestleMania, let's talk about that joke of WrestleMania, those matches. It wasn't the guys' matches that stood out in WrestleMania. It was the girls' matches.
The best match of WrestleMania was Rhea, Io, and Bianca.
There you go.
Agreed.
You see, and this is becoming the policy when it comes to the girls' wrestling in the WWE. It's 10 times better than what the men are doing, and I think this PLE may have been one of the best shows that was put on. Not saying that it was a 5-star show, because I didn't say that, but it's definitely a total overall, maybe a 3-4 show. But as far as all the other shows that have been going on, this is a 5 up against everything else.
Go ahead.
The main event itself was probably, dare I say, the best main event this year alone. Okay, and as far as the star rating, I give it a 5. All the factors were there. All the pieces of puzzles were there. The surprises, everything. 5. Best match of the year so far, as far as the women's go. As far as the men's go too.
Yeah. Michelle says the match was so amazing. I'm giving it 5 all the way. Rhea and Io were on fire tonight, and she also says the girls steal the show at every PLA. For a show that had an overall lackluster build-up. It was one of the best shows of the year,
Hmm.
which is
Maybe
kind of
that's why they
scary.
didn't build it up. Maybe they didn't want to build it up because of that simple fact. It's embarrassing what Paul Hyman and his crew or henchmen are doing. The nose needs to be fired. This Paul Letting needs to be fired. And whoever ran the girls' show tonight, maybe they should be given a step up in the creativity. And instead of giving us this crap on Netflix, why don't we have the girls being the whole 2 hours of Netflix because it's more entertaining than what these guys are doing.
Let
Who
me ask
was
you.
running the show?
More entertaining one day, yes, but not the entire time.
No.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. Do you think doing this Evolution 2 pay-per-view was also kind of like dipping a toe in the water to see, like, should we give the girls maybe an hour show every week?
I say they should. I absolutely think they should.
Yeah.
We were talking about this before, and before this even took place, that the WWE somewhere I had heard down the pipeline that they were considering putting a show together, which was an hour on either 17 or 29, one of those Fox or CW, putting
CW.
it was an hour show for the women every week. And that's what I had heard. Now, you hear a lot of things, but judging on the market and what is in the world of professional wrestling today, I think that the opportunity is there to forge those those fires right there and give the girls the opportunity that they deserve. I'm sorry. Um, is this a man's world? No, it's not. There's women that live here with us, and they deserve as much credit as the men for what they're able to do. And let's face it: if the men are willing to watch it, I give that 100% yes. They watch. They men watch golf. They watch fishing. They watch football, and they believe it's real. Why not watch women's wrestling?
Any comments, Jay?
Well, hey, we'll see what the ratings are. The problem being is even with this show now that looked filled up over there,
It
but
was.
they were having problems. They were having problems selling tickets.
5,000
The
5,000
uppers were.
seats.
Right.
5,000 seat.
But I
5,000
mean, the way they put it on camera, it looked pretty filled up.
Yeah.
5,000 seats is what they supposedly sold. They went out and they started handing out tickets from what I was privy to. They were handing out tickets.
Last week,
They were handing out tickets.
as of last week, they had sold or they had distributed just under 4,000 tickets.
Mm.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's will that support be there enough for an hour-long show?
I keep telling everyone this. The WE is horrible. And it's not so much the talent that makes the show horrible. It's the show itself that's horrible. Now, you could give these kids, these workers, these performers, whatever you want to refer to them as, you could give them better writers, better opportunity. Don't let them hold themselves back. Let them all perform to their top ability, and then you would see something that's definitely worth viewing. As far as giving the women the opportunity, um, I tell you what, man, if they gave 6 weeks worth of TV as much time and writing as they do the rest of the crap they do, I'd say I believe the women would do it. I believe they could pull it off. Now I'm not talking. Glow had an audience. Women of Wrestling, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling back in the 80s with Dave McClain. They had a strong following. They got a little bit too cartoony and they lost interest. But if you give good wrestling the way we seen, I'm telling you, there's an hour worth of television somewhere on some channel that would definitely get views, and it would probably be the top views on that channel.
As far as a 1 hour show, I honestly, I mean, look at all the 1 hour shows in the past, like Velocity and Sunday Night Heat and Live Wire and all those other ones. Okay.
But you're talking about shows that sucked. There was nothing.
Yeah,
You're
they
talking,
were.
you're
But
talking about shows that suck. Listen, the
yes,
show you seen tonight.
I just said
Tonight. If you, all right, what was that? 2 hours,
But
two
you're not going to
hours and
see
a
that
half.
every week, John.
No, listen. If you ran an hour, I am telling you, men would watch it. I
I'm
don't
sure they
care
would.
what
I'm
you
not saying they
say.
wouldn't, but would enough of them watch?
Absolutely. If the show is if you give them wrestling that's worth watching, absolutely. If you're going to clown the people, of course they're not going to view in. Women put lingerie on and played football. It wasn't even real, but you know what? It was some of the highest rated TV.
I actually bought
See,
tickets to go watch some games.
you see what I'm saying, Janetti? You see what I'm
Not the
saying,
point
bro?
I'm saying,
Men will
John.
watch it. Men will
Yeah,
watch it.
okay.
If you
So
give them
what I'm
something,
saying
no
is, will enough
tits
of
and
them
ass,
watch?
no tits and ass, no bullshit. You give them wrestling, they would watch it. Real wrestling fans are going to watch it, and I
yes.
said real wrestling fans.
Is there any?
Honestly, I think that they need more than an hour. I think they need at least 2 hours, in my opinion. That's just
I
me.
really would.
Man, you get lost. You get lost, bro. Sometimes, the NWA had the greatest theory in wrestling. They would do those hour and a half shows on Saturday, an
Hmm.
hour on Sunday. The way they used to stagger the NWA, you know what I mean? You put TBS, you give them an hour and say an hour and a half, because with all the commercials nowadays, an hour and a
Yes.
half would generally break down to 50 minutes worth of wrestling. 50 minutes worth of wrestling would capture anybody's mind for that amount of time.
Oh, it'd be about 10 minutes worth of wrestling, John, and 40 minutes worth of fucking talking.
Yeah.
You-
Well, I
And
counted it last night, 109 commercials.
and if you don't have if you do an hour and a half, okay, you need more than an hour because you can't tell any kind of a story. You need at least, like you said, Johnny, at least 50 minutes of wrestling. So at least an hour and a half.
Well, there
And-
you
Couldn't
go.
do it on TBS too because that terrible show AEW is on TBS and TNT.
Oh,
so
Collision or whatever that is. Yeah.
whatever it is.
Janetti, here you go. Here's a thought process, brother. AEW. Do you think that if they had better production, they'd
No.
be a better product?
No,
Not
No,
necessarily
make it
production.
better.
absolutely not.
What do you
If they had a different booker, I'd
Yes.
still say a lot of their shit would be fucked up. And here, and I'm this is why I want to challenge. This is why one of the reasons I wanted to come on tonight, John, because I have to challenge you on this AEW shit. I don't know what you see in it. I don't pretend I'll know.
I
just
didn't
what
watch
you see in it.
anything, but
I-
I didn't
I-
watch anything but a pay-per-view.
You got to hear my question here. Their booking is absolutely terrible. Their storylines suck, and they rarely go anywhere. The matches, the people wrestling, and I have some friends that are there. And I feel bad that they're there. But the shit that I have seen, and I'll ask you this. I saw a match one time with them where somebody did a tombstone pile driver onto another person on the steel steps. And within 30 seconds, that person that got pile drive on the steel steps was up making a comeback against the other wrestler. My question to you is, sir, in 1990, if you would have given me a pile driver in the ring and I would have gotten up within 30 seconds and made a comeback on you, what would have happened to me?
I would have handed you your ass. Yeah, so but
you dare tell me about how good fucking AEW is.
Hold on now.
I don't want to fucking hear it.
Okay, now, maybe you wasn't hearing everything. I only watched one pay-per-view of AEW. I think Will Ospreay is incredible. I think that this the dude I can't even think who Will Ospreay's partner was. He was
Strickland.
Swerve Strickland. What an amazing talent. Okay, I don't know.
Swerve's a great guy. He's actually, I know Swerve. He's a friend of mine.
MJF. What an amazing talent. Cage is there. Christian is there. Okay, there's a lot of talent that is.
There's a lot of talent.
You know,
there, they're not doing anything.
I watched Tony Storm wrestle a girl that I can't stand, Sasha Banks. I think she's a slime bag, but that's my opinion of her. Okay, I wouldn't pick her up on a Sunday in Kensington for 50 cents, but that's my opinion of her. Okay, but here the thing was that pay-per-view was so entertaining and so good, match after match. There were matches that were better than everything that the WWE has put up lately.
Well, I'm not saying
not
WWE
everything was
better.
like MTF, FTM, or whatever those two jackasses are.
FTR.
They suck. FTR. They suck. They really, really suck. Okay. Yes.
And
as far as
what I'm saying
wrestlers,
is it all sucks.
Yes. As far as talent popping up, you get that from. That jackass who was going with the ring announcer. What was his name? The flipping around dude. He was tagged with Braun Strowman for a brief second. What was his name? Come on, Gianni. Ricochet. I can't stand him. You get all these 80-pound, 115 pounds. Even Taz's son, another jackass. Yeah. I'm not saying everything's perfect in AEW, although I've never watched all of AEW. Okay, one pay-per-view, and it was great. And as far as talking about it, I think there are talented guys there that do deserve airtime, and their matches, some of them are good. Whoever's doing their booking, you're 100% correct. They
Tony
need a new booker. Well, he needs to stop booking because he's an owner. That's what Todd Gordon's problem was. He was an owner that wanted to do drugs and party with the boys. Maybe Tony Khan just wants to party with the boys and hang out too. I don't know what the problem is here. I'm not going to speak on Tony Khan as far as his life goes, but maybe he shouldn't be running things there. He should give the creativity over to people that really do know what they're doing. And it's not Taz. Taz is a complete jerk off. And I'll say that to him any day of the week. He's no tough guy. He made his own title, and all of a sudden he became a champion. All right. That's about Taz. That's about it about Taz. But yeah, there are people in there's people in the WE that don't deserve to be there or talked about either. So yeah, we could say the same thing about the WE. We shouldn't be talking about a lot of what goes on the WE. When you got guys like The Miz taking up space there, when you got a lot of guys taking up space there. Every single Uso is taking up space there. They need to move over, pal. All right. As far you
See,
give
but
me the
this is
list
where
of
I have to
talent,
disagree. This is
you
where I
give
have to
me the list of
disagree. If a
why you
person
think
is
that
if a person is over, they're not taking up space. Sadly, the Usos are
listen,
fucking over.
listen,
Why?
man.
If you
They've
were
been
a
there so long. They need
promoter
to
or a
move.
booker, and you were Johnny, if you were put it this way, if you were working for a company and you were fucking over like Jay Uso is, and you were fired because you didn't like the gimmick, how would you feel?
Hold on, hold on,
It's
hold on a
about
minute.
fucking getting yourself over. The fucking guy gets himself fucking over like a mother. Both of the brothers, they're
You believe
over.
you believe that because that's what they're shoving down your throat.
I
The
see it
fact
every
is,
week.
hold on a minute. If the Usos were as good as you claim they are as a tag team, yes, they are great as a tag team. In the singles division, they gave the Yeet Man 6 weeks. He failed in 2. Okay,
Hey,
he failed. They got the crowd together. They
what
shot
did
the
I say
TV.
about Jay
They
Uso?
shot the
I
TV.
said for
Listen,
6 months.
you asked me. You
He
made
will
a
win the
comment.
belt for
The
2 weeks. He'll
Usos do
hold it,
not.
and that's it.
The Usos been there too long, man. The Usos been there too long. I'll tell you who else was there too long. New Day. You had no problem saying the New Day wasn't there too long. You're sick of the New Day. Well, I'm sick of the Usos. They've been there too long. How about there's other
Here's
talent
what
that
I said about the New Day.
deserve the spot?
New Day. I said they're not over his heels. They are beyond talented. They're not over his heels. Now that they took the straps off him, they should turn them back faces, and I bet you they'll
You
be
won't
over like
see them.
motherfuckers.
No, you won't
No,
see
you're
them.
not going to see them now.
They're ambassadors. They're
They're going to be
ambassadors.
they need to have them stay in mourning and let them mourn and then go away and come back
Well,
as
that's the
faces.
same thing that they should do with the Usos. They should do that same exact thing. They've been around. They've done it all. Okay, right off into the sunset. Thank you very much. You did a great job. You put asses in the seat. Okay, we're done with your creativity. We can't find anything else to do here. Listen, man. People get laid off in jobs and people get fired in jobs all day long. If you're going to keep somebody around because they did you great 10 years ago, and nowadays you're just carrying them because, let me tell you something, TKO, when they look at people that they got on that roster and they make these cuts, nobody expected Braun Strowman to get cut. He got cut. Don't be surprised if
He
you
was
see a lot of
horrible.
Listen, he was only horrible when Triple Nose couldn't do anything with him. When Vince had him, he was the greatest thing. He was the monster amongst men. What are you telling me? You never watched the
I didn't
WWE,
watch it.
so you
I
did.
didn't
Yeah,
watch it.
so
But what
you're
I
telling
saw,
me that Braun
that guy was
Strowman is
not over
horrible.
at all.
You're
And there was
telling
not
me that Braun
nobody
Strowman's
buying
horrible
a ticket or
based on you
merchandise
didn't
for
watch
Braun
him.
Strowman.
You didn't watch him. You didn't watch him based on what you're saying because you would have known that he was with Bray Wyatt. Okay.
He stole Ice Train's gimmick.
You whatever he did,
Train.
when the Wyatt family came out, he was there. He was one of them. You see, you do not know. You do not know. Braun Strowman flipped over a Mack truck. Of course, it was all stunt. They did it with a lift.
Why didn't they put him with the Wyatt Six and got him over? Because he
Because
was not
Triple
over
knows.
at all.
Because I'll tell you. You want to know the truth? Because he was going out with that Rodriguez chick. When he broke off with the Rodriguez chick, he lost his job. The Rodriguez chick works in the front office. That big girl that they tagged with Liv, she was working in creativity in the front office. He was going with her. He broke off with her. He was fired. Triple Nose is a piece of shit. You don't know the backstories.
He was also a rosebud before that.
When it comes to wrestling, I'll tell you why you got me on this show. Because I know what I'm talking about. Mic drop. I could write. Listen, when it comes to the talent in the AWE, Genetti, I guarantee you, I could write better shows for them than what's been done. No one's ever tapped the mind of Johnny HotBody for creativity or Booker. Listen, you're laughing, huh?
I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry. Nobody's
Johnny.
ever tapped the mind. God bless you.
What's that?
Listen, brother. It's not easy. It's not rocket science to entertain a bunch of idiots. Quite seriously, if you can't put a card together and book matches, there's something wrong with your abilities. You shouldn't be in wrestling. Number one.
Yeah.
Just getting in the ring was back in the day when we were in school and we were learning, but there was a lot of things that we really didn't pay attention to. We let promoters lie to you, blow smoke up your ass, promise you the world, give you titles and give you nothing but a pat on the back. Make you work your ass off and then don't pay you because they all tell you that they didn't make no money. Bunch of liars.
I didn't even get a pat on the back recently.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that goes on, bro. A lot of guys show up and work and don't get paid what they're really worth.
And Johnny, let me tell you something.
I'll tell you that, right?
As far as Tony Khan goes, he thinks he knows what he's doing. Okay, number one. Number two, there's no like form of like direction in AEW. And also, he's never gonna go away because he has his daddy's money. His dad is the owner of the football team, the NFL football team, and that money's always gonna be pumped in. So he's not going to change. Yeah, he's
Dave Meltzer's blowing him.
Yeah,
telling him he's doing such a good job every week.
And he's not. He's not.
No.
They got lucky last night with a good pay-per-view. But Johnny, do me a favor. Watch 2 weeks. Watch a month of AEW, and see how you feel.
Don't torture yourself, John.
Listen, I've been torturing myself with this Netflix deal. Okay, I'm even paying for it, which feels like I'm getting fingered in a dark alley somewhere where I don't want to be. Okay, Sparkle Farts over there. All right, listen, buddy, I'm going to tell you something. If you could stomach the crap that WE's been putting on and not complaining about it,
well, I normally watch this.
I'm going to watch AEW. I'm going to give AEW a chance, and I'll talk about it whether it's bad or not. I'll give my honest opinions on it, Jimmy. I don't think I could get past a lot of wrestling anymore because I find it all mundane. I see there's a lot of no creativity out there.
Yeah, well, too much.
Jimmy, how's the wrestling scene in Florida? Is it still as big as it used to be?
No.
No,
it's not. It's not. But to be honest with you, I have been so far away from it that I really don't know what it is. There's only like a couple organizations down around here. One is CCW. They're taking over as Florida Championship Wrestling was. They're trying to take over as that.
And they run here as well.
Yeah, they run in Nashville as well. And there's a couple smaller organizations. None of these kids down here fucking kayfabe, nothing. It's such... it's so far away from where we were. It got to a point to where I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So I walked off. I was tired, man. Tired of banging my head against the wall. Because wrestling has changed. But the problem being is wrestling should change. I'm not saying it shouldn't. Wrestling should change with the times and it should update itself. But there's things that should not change, as in the core point of wrestling, which is make it look as legitimate as possible, but don't kill each other. Now the opposite is true. They're making it look like shit, and they're killing each other. It blows my mind. So I just can't do it. That's why I don't watch the shows. That's why I watch this show to see what happens.
We have a new person chiming in. Diamond Oxendine. Okay.
All right,
Hi, Diamond.
Oxidine.
So
Oh.
Janetti, that means you're going to watch tomorrow night and chime in with us, right?
No, I don't. I can't. I don't have Netflix. I didn't want to pay for it. So I don't watch. That's why I watch.
There you go.
That's why I watch your show, because that way I know what happens.
See that?
What do you think you people are for?
We
We
love you.
have
We
a
love you
purpose.
too, Jimmy. Thanks.
we're,
Yeah.
we're saving Janetti $8 a month.
That's right.
Oh, it's too funny.
I wouldn't
right.
watch even if I did have Netflix. I wouldn't watch even if I did have Netflix.
Babe,
I
he's
just won't watch it.
He's
I
saving
really
up for that tag belt. He's going to buy off me.
I am. I'm saving that money for that and all the other toys that I have over here.
He needs to cover that fucking peacock on the wall with that
No,
belt.
that's been paid for a long time ago. No,
all right, guys.
I got all this new shit though. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
Oh God.
On that note.
Yeah. On that note, I'm
Yo,
gonna wrap
I'll
it up.
give you. Well, hey, Jimmy, did you know that Barbie had short titties because G.I. Joe had the kung fu grip?
You waited 30 years to tell that joke, I bet.
45. I remember that when I was a kid.
We can wait another 45 now.
Yeah.
Please do. Yes.
Hey, just remember the shirt that says "Sparkle Farts."
Hey, and
You're going to
if
buy
any
one.
show
Hashtag Sparkle Farts.
if any show steals that, we're coming for them.
Hey, Pro Wrestling Tees, lay off it.
On that note, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to my illustrious cast, Mr. Jimmy Janetti, Johnny HotBody, and the fans out there for chiming in. We'll be back tomorrow night. Me and Mr. HotBody will be breaking down Raw, so get ready for it.
Yeah, man, get ready for a lot of nothing. Just remember this. Roman Reigns is coming back. You know, that's what you got to look forward to tomorrow night. I believe Roman Reigns makes his comeback tomorrow night. I don't know what they're going to do with this.
What they should do. I'll tell you what they should do. I was going to tell you this last night. What they should do with Seth Rollins' thing is do what they did with Lawler and Jimmy Hart when Lawler busted his leg. Jimmy Hart took over the family, basically said that, what do you do with old-fashioned racehorses? Well, racehorses that hurt themselves, you shoot them. Yeah, exactly. And then Seth Rollins is gone. And either you bring Brock Lesnar in, whatever the case, but let Paulie take over. That way, when Rollins comes back, there's your feud.
Listen, Jimmy, what we do here is we tell the WE, what their next move is, and I tell you this, I shit you not. I said last night, as soon as Seth Rollins came down wrong on his leg, I seen the look in Paulie's eyes. He said, "Oh my God, I got to call Brock Lesnar. I'm in trouble." He went as far as wishing him a happy birthday online yesterday. So don't be surprised. I'm telling you.
I'm not. I'm not saying that he's not.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar is his
But that's what they should do.
That's what he likes everybody to believe. When he feels threatened, he tells everybody, "Hey, Brock's my friend."
Well,
wait, it was Brock's birthday yesterday?
Yeah.
My mom's birthday yesterday.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
Tell your mom to change her birthday. She doesn't want to be aligned with Brock Lesnar. There's a dildo named after him.
She loves The Rock. God. I spare her that part of the wrestling, Johnny.
Johnny.
Listen, I tell you, I tell it like it is.
Yeah,
she's a fan. I say the things that no one else will.
She's a fan of The Rock and Randy Orton. I said, "Ma, Why are you a fan of? Why are you a fan? Are you a fan of their work? No, they're cute. Of course, yeah.
Don't worry. I know somebody that thinks LA Knight is whatever.
Leave Michelle Stern out of this.
Oh,
Anyway,
On that note,
you better watch yourself there, boy. She'll come
Listen,
after
good
you.
night, everyone.
yeah, let's call it a night.
Michelle's awesome.
Michelle
Good
said,
night,
"Get ready for
everyone.
commercial
Thank
school."
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow, Bay and I, and to everyone else, I bid you adieu.
Adieu.
Yes.